We the diabolical diva, baby, watch how we step. Watch it, step right. Whole crew too fine, too lit, too blessed, too blessed. Floating in the room, yeah, the vibes they set. Float, they set. Ain't met them yet. Name another squad, how do we ain't met them yet? I ain't met them yet. I be smooth like the skin tone, creamy with the flex. Classy, but she slide if you come in incorrect. Don't try it. Cookie so sweet, but she crumble. Who you test? Got a monster in the sheets, yeah, she eating the body. Like in the dark, she both those things. Steam on the beach, she the vibe you see. Six with the steam, she fine, yeah, she mean. Body like a problem that you never finna clean. Legend in the making, and she walking like a fable. Every time she pop out, whole sitting stable. Sunday with a drip, yeah, she sweet, yeah, she tasteful. Cold on her head, look, baby, too graceful. Did a stay, did it, yeah, she always wanna know. Big step of energy, she never gets stuck. Whole team bad, yeah, the pressure too much. If the world need a vibe, we the ones they call us. Soft when we do, savage on cue. Pretty in the face of the two, brand new. Heels on the floor, and the jeans all true. To remove it, winning quite a how we do. Divas step, divas rep, I'm pressed, we slay. Okay. We the diabolical divas, baby, watch how we step. Watch it. Whole crew too fine, too lit, too blessed. Floating in the room, yeah, the vibes they like something that we ain't met them yet. Like, ain't met them yet. Bounce on that like drip like Sunday. Legend walk in, whole room runway. Niggas get 8 every Sunday. Divas on top, that's just one day.
Thank everyone for tuning into another informative video here on Paradigm Shift TV 314. I am one of your hosts tonight, Ivory. And as you all know, I popped out the womb with a scale on it. Nothing big, everything major.
Sunday right here, the one y'all love to hate.
And Sister Light will be back on shortly. We have a special guest. It is Jay Santos. Jay.
What's up with y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up, YN?
So the YN is here tonight to talk about the Black woman is God. So let's dive right in, Jay.
Facts. So I mean, the Black woman being God, it really starts with what people view as God. A lot of people have a Christian mindset or an Abrahamic mindset, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the word God. But even when you get into that, the word God just means power in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that aspect, our power comes from the Black woman. We get up, we get dressed, we get fly. We don't get fly for ourselves, we get fly for the women. You feel me? Everything we do as a man, a Black man, I should say, is centered around providing for your woman, providing for your kids. You know what I'm saying? But when you get down to a molecular, a cellular aspect, God just means generator, organizer, and dispenser. The Black woman generates your ass, she organizes your cells, and she dispenses your dumb ass out. That's really as simple as it gets. Even when you get down to the aspect of Mother Nature, you feel me? Like it's all it all goes down to that.
Okay. Hold that thought. We got Sister Light back. Sister Light.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Light. I'm sorry that I had a little technical difficulties, but I'm here and I'm here to enjoy the show and listen to Jay Santos kick this Black woman is God part 2.
Facts.
So I have a question because I just came in and I heard you talking. When you see 'cause on social media, there's a presence of men that actually it seems like they hate women. When you see that type of energy coming from another man, how does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel like they uneducated for real. You know what I'm saying? And it comes from trauma too. You feel me? Because I mean, in today's point in time, not every woman is in her godhood. You know what I'm saying? And hurt people. You feel me?
That's correct.
Yeah, a lot of that shit just stem from trauma. Maybe it could be with their own mama shit.
A lot of these
Yeah,
guys do
it
hate
really
them.
don't make me feel no type of way in particular, other than like niggas just need to grow up. Niggas need to learn their lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
My bad, y'all. I'm actually rolling a blunt right now, y'all. So
I
bear with me.
You good? You
think
good?
a lot of these guys do dislike their moms, and it carries over.
But no, yeah, really, it all just stems down to what I had just said. The word God, you could break that down in the English. You could break that down to generator, organizer, and dispenser. The black woman generates your cells, your body into being, your soul. She organizes your soul, your cells, and she dispensed you out. You know what I'm saying? You would not be here without the black woman. Everybody want to say, "Oh, the man carries the seed." Who out the bam? All your sperm does is shock the egg and remind it what it's supposed to do, and it develops from there. You get your skin from your mother. You damn near get everything from your mom. I'm not knocking a dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad myself.
Wow. So Sister Light, she brought forth some science about Sister Light. Would you like to go in? Hold on, here she come back on the stage.
She
Okay.
having them technical difficulties.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, because I do know that since
But no,
before
it would.
any of
Oh, she back was good.
okay, I
You got
do
some
know like
science. Oh, we can't hear you.
I
y'all
can hear
can't
you.
hear me.
No, I
Yeah, I
hear you.
can hear.
Or I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me? Sir?
y'all.
Oh, he can't hear us.
Well, you might have to go out and come back.
I might gotta
Yeah.
leave and come back.
He didn't even hear you say that.
Right, right. So I guess we wait till he get back because I want you to go into the science of, what science is saying now, the new science.
I definitely believe a lot of these men don't like their mothers, and that's where it starts, and it bleeds over onto all the other women.
But I
Correct. Correct.
correct. I believe that too. But I also understand that a lot of this stuff has been going on before any of us were even born.
They just have a name for it.
Right. All of this stuff has been going on.
Back.
All of the disconnect, and yeah, they think like some of the ways of old were the best ways, but no.
Really
Mm-mm.
I
was
came
the
in on the
women
right
couldn't
time.
couldn't speak
The
out back
ways
then.
of
Is really
old.
what it was.
When we say the ways of old, a lot of people caught on the wrong ways. Everything that's old ain't good for you.
Right. When I say the ways of old, I'm talking about shotgun marriages and things like that. People being
Hmm.
forced to be into marriages, and people think, oh, well, that was the best way because it made a man be responsible, or for the family or whatever. But if you have people that are together just because they had one night of sex or two nights of sex or however many nights and a child was produced, but these people don't really know each other, they don't like each other, so they're just going into these marriages and having to learn each other as they go. It worked for some people, but for a lot of people, it didn't work. And we saw that. And when we did the show with Timotheus, how the breakdown of the family started.
Man, I would say the breakdown of the family started a long time ago for real. But no, what was the science that you was gonna bring out? Or did I miss that?
That was Sunday, right?
No,
Mhm.
so new science about the man carrying the seed.
Oh, the woman carrying the seed. Oh, they have a new science?
I don't know. You was talking about it.
I think we
What
were just talking
Oh,
about the egg choosing the sperm and all of that.
right. The egg chooses the sperm.
Fact.
Um, Through religion, we've been taught that the man carries the seed. But if the egg is smart enough to choose the sperm that it wants, then I think that there's a sign of a higher intelligence there.
That's
Um, if I can be with you in a relationship for however many years and I never get pregnant, and then we break up and I go be with somebody else and I get pregnant right away, that just means I don't care. I could love your dirty drawers, but my eggs did not see you as a compatible choice for an offspring.
That's a fact.
Okay.
So I think with that right there, that shows that, I don't, because I'm not saying when I say the black woman is God, I'm also saying that the black man is God too. I'm not dismissing the man
That's a
out
fact.
of the equation, right? And but it seems like this subject becomes touchy for men because they automatically hear a dismissal of men, and that's not the case. But I wanted you to get a little more, a little deeper into your thoughts on the black woman being God, Jay. This is your show. Let's do it.
Right, facts. And when you say the black man is God as well, that's a fact. But it's even down to a science. We're just how do I want it? We're just a manipulation of the black woman. Like we got nipples that we don't use, all type of shit. Like when you every baby that starts out in the womb starts female before it's male. That's just a fact. The woman is the one who carries the life, brings the life here. We don't have that power. What they say, a woman's intuition. Now, how ancient societies are, or ancient black societies was led when we say the matriarchy. Yes, the man had his role, but the woman was a spiritual leader. She was the one who gives direction, and the man takes forth the driving of the car, like he pulls it in that direction. It's a balance to it. But when I say the black woman is God, I mean she is the one who creates. She creates life. She carries life. She sustains life.
Right. And but again, it's like weird when we have this conversation. It's like, you trying to say that the men don't. Of course, we need men for the procreation process, but after that, we do the rest of the work. We
Facts.
literally bring spirits from another realm into our into our womb. We carry these babies, we nurture these babies, and then we produce a human.
Man,
That is, if that is not the highest level of creation, I don't know what is.
that's what you call God.
Right.
A nigga can't do that.
Well, I understand that. I absolutely understand that. I think the other ladies understand that too.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
just
like,
we talking to the audience. You know what I'm saying?
right. No, I know. But no, I'm just talking about for the topic of this conversation. But I just would like for whatever's happening between the black man and woman, I would really like to see that stop. I would like for women to understand that we should be at a higher place than we are. I would like for men to understand that if in order for us as a nation of people to get anywhere, the nation rises no higher than its woman. So if your woman is being disrespected, degraded, just talk to like a dog every day. Now there's a disdain there in women as well. We have to understand. We have to approach each other with a little more kindness and empathy and understanding. Nobody wants to understand, and I think that's a problem, a big problem. So, what do you think on what's your what do you think about that, Jay? Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you. He's
Clear.
there, but I don't know.
Hey Jay.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
now.
All right, my bad. I had got a phone call.
But what's your thoughts on that as far as us lacking empathy and understanding and compassion for each other as a whole?
I would say that come from trauma, and that come from us eating false teachings from our enemies. My stance on that is the further you get from yourself, the further you're gonna hate yourself. The reason why black men and women hate each other is because they don't know who they are. If we know who we was, we would value each other as what we should be valued as. It
Right.
really
I absolutely agree with you.
facts. It really just boiled down to a lack of knowledge, lack of self knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because if I looked at, well, I'm not even gonna put myself as an example. If the black man looked at the black woman as the creator of life, the sustainer of life, why would he disrespect her? And if the black woman looked at that black man as the protector and the one who clears the way for the family, why would she disrespect him? But we done fucking ate up Abrahamic religion so bad, nigga think the woman just supposed to be, oh bitch, bow down. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? And the woman done ate up so much shit that's put into society. She think niggas ain't shit. Ooh, we gotta ditch those mindsets. Everything that's pushed to us and put in front of us is not to be eaten.
Um, Let me ask you a question, or anybody's free to answer. Do you think a
Mm,
lot of this thing that happens between men and women from a woman's perspective, it's learned behavior, right?
yeah,
The examples that we have seen growing up, some of us didn't have some of the healthier examples.
right.
So is it that we watched we watch aunts and cousins and sisters and mothers and all of these things go through these things with men that it made the next generation harder?
That is true. And that shit that we had watched, that come from trauma from slavery. Motherfuckers getting their fam separated from their families. Nigga done got buck broken and shit. All type of shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? And how they would do it is they would take the man, they would break him down, and they would damn near, if they didn't kill him, they would damn near kill him, and they would force the woman to teach the kids, okay, you gonna do this and that to avoid these things. And all of these traumas have been passed down, and they just get manipulated through generation after generation. They trying to tear us down, but we resilient. I don't know how, but we is.
Right, because we engage in some of these conversations with these with the brothers, and I'm saying to them, like, I don't know where y'all live, or if y'all going outside, or if y'all around a lot of people, but I see regular people getting together every day. I
Right.
don't see the whole, oh, he gotta have $100,000, he gotta make six figures. I don't see that in the everyday regular life. I only really see this type of behavior or this type of sentiment on the internet. And I feel like
Exactly.
too many people are believing this world that they are creating
Hmm.
on social media.
Yeah, that goes
Like,
back to what I said. Everything that's put in front of us is not to be eaten.
think it's because they want to. Some of them, anyway. Like they
Yeah.
can use that as an excuse of why they haven't been chosen. They don't have what the women require, which most of us don't require. Because
Right. It appeals to their trauma.
preferences aren't necessarily a requirement. Like so, I think they parrot stuff from the internet because it gives them a reason that they haven't been chosen.
Exactly. And it's easier to blame and cause negativity rather than to heal from the trauma. It's easier to, oh, that sounds like what I'm going through, rather than to really look at what the person is saying for what it is.
That all these platforms gave all these people just a place to congregate under and co-sign each other's delusions.
Literally, that's all it is. And some of these niggas don't even really believe that. They just getting paid to say that shit. And the niggas like, yeah, brother, you're right. Some of these niggas be reading off a straight script.
Hmm. That was my biggest problem with these podcasts. Well, not my biggest, but one of them. Like they just gave people excuses to blame women for them not being chosen instead of telling them to build their own selves up, their character, but just be likable. Hell,
Right.
like, but instead of that, they blame other people for them not like women want too much or whatever. And
Right.
now
I
they spend
think
all their
it's a
time trying to
collective
humble
thing.
us.
I think they've been trying to humble motherfuckers, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah,
But
that's
I,
true.
I think it's a collective thing for real. I think
Mhm.
as the years went on, they further drove the black man and black woman apart. Because we
but
didn't always start apart.
we didn't. But I think that we play a bigger part. We play a big part in falling for the banana in the tailpipe, right?
Hell
Because
yeah.
as much as as was the flip side of what Sunday was talking about, I often see women doing the same thing. I don't agree with that. I go into these groups and I see women saying, "Stay away from these men, ladies," and what do you mean? First of all, we have to develop a common unity, which is
Yes.
community, right?
Yes.
Right? Community. We need to rebuild the community. So that means that whether you're in a relationship with someone or not, it's just your neighbor or, the person down the block or whatever. We need to be in a community setting in order for our
Mm,
children to advance. And it's not, it's happening slowly but surely because I'm starting to see people kind of looking out for each other's kids more now. And, even if it's
mm,
just a friends group or whatever the case may be. I remember when I was growing up, we still had a village. Like
right.
you got in trouble from everybody. So it made you be on your best behavior. But
Right.
now it's this sentiment. I'm really starting to feel like people hate children.
No, people do.
Like this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
But the thing about it is, it's beautiful that you have brought those points out because for us to heal our community and to make a better community, first thing we gotta do is put the woman back in her spot. That's gonna be tough for a lot of niggas to do, but that's what needs to be done. The woman, the black woman, is, like I said earlier, is the guiding force of our people. She's the one who has the spiritual discernment to see forward.
Hmm.
We can't
And
forsake that.
I think also too, like when you look over the like the past 10 years or so, the strides that black women have made, right? We've made it into government, we've made it into these top places. That is when you were supposed to support her because
Mm,
she is in position to help uplift her people, not down her, not bring her down, not tell her that, oh, just because you think it's weird, like the energy is weird, but I understand. So there's the thing called Return of the Grandmothers. The earth's energy it transforms like every 13,000 years. It goes from negative to from feminine to masculine, and
mm,
we're in the earth's energy is in the masculine right now.
mm,
But and with that being said, that is why women are, let me get it straight. The divine feminine energy is at its highest peak that it's ever been in a while. It's actually been in hiding because it wasn't
facts.
safe. It wasn't safe for her. So now
Facts.
the divine feminine energy is at its highest, and it seems like you have the masculine energy trying to beat her back into submission.
Now, see, and that's why I said we gotta put the woman back in her spot. Everything needs to flow. Niggas disrupting the flow, and that's why the earth is where it's at right now. Can't get in her way, son.
Right.
Mhm.
You supposed to clear the way. See, that's the thing. That's why I said if we just knew who we was and our roles in society, everything would be easier. Everybody want to be the star though.
I don't know why people can't accept equal, just different. Why does somebody always got to be beneath somebody? That's the
Right.
problem.
And I wouldn't even say we equal. That's really what it is. Niggas want to be over the woman. That's all it is.
Where did that come from, though?
Yeah. Me personally, I would say it comes from Abrahamic faith. It came from the white folk now.
Well, I
Hmm.
don't. I don't know. I mean, it's you have some people that say the Bible doesn't say that the woman is inferior, and I know that we have stories in the Bible of women who were in high positions, but I think it's the way it's being taught versus the way some people learn it.
I
Right?
mean, that is true to an
The people,
extent.
the people that I see who actually learn it, the men and women that I see who actually learn it, they do not carry it like that. The ones who were taught, unless they're in a cult, like, I'm not gonna say anything about the Power Rangers,
Right.
but
There are
yeah,
some that's better than others. You know what I'm saying?
right. Like unless you're in a cult, right? Because it seems like anybody who uses the Bible and has this type of cult setting, it's always the woman should be submissive to the man. But I thought it was two
Shit.
people being submissive to the relationship.
I mean, that's kind of not really how the Bible explains it. I'm not gonna lie. The Bible is the same book that said the woman need to be quiet in the church. Every woman leader that's in the Bible is overseen by a man.
Mm.
Well, you have Deborah, right?
Yeah,
She
she
actually
was a judge.
right, and she led an army. You have other powerful women in the Bible, but they're just never talked about.
Right, but who did Deborah answer to?
Okay, you asking me the question? You might as well tell me.
I forgot the nigga name, but it's it's a nigga.
Are you talking about Barack?
Shit, whatever that nigga name was.
I
It
don't
was
think
some nigga that she was
Barack answered to her.
I don't know the nigga name, but it's like she couldn't make no decision. First, it's a council overall, but she was the damn near the only woman in the council type shit. She answering to the higher ups and shit. It's kind of like how the president does his shit. Like he can't just pass a law; it got to be accepted by these different niggas and shit.
Because I know when Deborah sat under the tree and led the soldiers, Barack was her front man, but he answered to her. She gave the orders.
Right, I might be able to look that up. Matter of fact, let me see. Good.
Was a judge and she was making decisions. Michelle put in the chat.
God's word through the board. Yeah, I'm not gonna read all of that. But no, bottom line is, y'all, the woman just need to be put back in her place. That's all it is. And I don't mean to say that like niggas gonna take that, be like, yeah, put that bitch in her place. Nah, bro, she need to be put back on top.
Michelle said Barack was supposed to be in charge and he was scared. So Jael is the one who killed Sisera.
But I think that when if you have enough people like us who understand that there's a level of dysfunction, there's so many things going on, there's so many nuances to the separation. If we just keep speaking out, then we can start to help heal people. We can probably
Facts.
we can open I feel like if one person can reach one person and that one person reaches another, and then before you know it, you have 10 people.
Yeah, reach one, teach
So
one.
right. So we need to still keep having these discussions. But I think, I try to have these very discussions with some of the men who think otherwise, but it gets kind of hard and it gets aggravating because now you have to argue with them about things. And then
Shit,
there's the gaslighting and all of these things that happen within these conversations. So it gets to be kind of frustrating.
right,
But
shit. I really got one question for they ass. Where will we be without the black woman? We be dead, gang. That's a fact. We be dead.
well,
Who was
can
the
you
first one to
expound
start?
on that?
You said what?
Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, who was the one that was keeping us safe? Even like back during the slavery times, who was the one really keeping us safe? Telling us, like I just said, they would break the man down, and it would be up to the woman to teach the children how to move right. Woo, woo. That's where you get the big mamas of the house from. You feel me? The big mama always gonna tell you what's right, what's wrong.
Mhm.
The first house nigga was a nigga. Niggas been shucking and jiving. It's always been a black woman that stood firm until we
Mm,
didn't.
mm.
Once we supposed to be her hedge of protection. Once we stop standing firm, shit, she like fuck it.
Yeah, you're right. but it's like a revisionist history being taught within these podcasts and these Facebook groups, and this handful of people seem to be so loud. And I think it's because the people who don't think like this aren't really speaking up. I think they're afraid to speak up because they don't want to be ridiculed or whatever. Now you got like this circle jerking thing going on. Anytime a man comes around and he disagrees with other men, now he's pandering or he's being a
Right.
simp or whatever. I mean, since when loving your woman, protecting your woman, wanting to love on your woman is seen as a bad thing by other men?
That's
I
a
don't
weapon.
understand it.
That
It's just,
mindset that was fed to us, that's a weapon. Because now you losing your power, bro. You
I,
bashing a woman, that's your power, fool.
I think they're borderline.
They
yeah,
are.
I think that's the men that can't pull women. So now they turn being with the woman into a bad thing.
They are. Them niggas like dudes. Any man who would rather be in a room full of niggas that has some female energy in there, bro. He it's something to that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Something strange, man. He'll do a little something strange for a piece of change.
Looking for echo thing.
And I'm not being funny. We're starting to see and we're starting to see a lot of men like this. And
That's you gotta ask him like what's your relationship with your mother like?
Mm.
You feel me? I bet you they gonna have some stories to tell.
A lot of them don't like the answer. They would be like, I don't want to sleep with my mom. Like, I don't even know why they go there first with that. But
Trauma. That's a trauma response. I don't want to speak on that. Why? Does it hurt your feelings? Does it
you was
make
a
you feel some type of way, brother?
mm-mm.
That's what a lot of that shit stem from. Mommy issues.
but what about those who had maybe healthy examples, but they became followers of their peers?
Mm.
That's a dumbass nigga. You said fuck your mom. You just stop listening to everything you was taught to go listen to these niggas. That's all right. Follow the leader.
That's the one thing that I don't understand. Because now you have like a bunch of followers, and now they want women to follow the follower. Like I don't. My brain can't wrap around that. I cannot, in my right mind, follow a man who follows another man. It's weird.
Right. And
Now,
I
when
wouldn't say
you're
that's always a bad thing though.
right, it's like we can't. There's a process, right? A young man learns from a young boy learns from his father or his uncles, brothers, cousins, whatever. But you're a grown man. You're 30 years old. You're 32, 35 years old, and you're still following another man. And then turn around and say, "Oh well, you have to be a follower in order to learn to lead."
You know
I
what
was
that
raised
is?
as a woman. I was raised never to follow anybody.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
nigga who brain ain't done growing. He
Mm.
might be 30 on the outside, but on the inside that nigga 15. Promise you. Get that.
I honestly don't believe that men are natural providers and protectors and all that. Like, I think men have been taught, there are men that have been taught to be good ones, but I don't think it's natural anymore. I think we've been bamboozled.
Or when you say provider and protector, like what do you mean by that?
I mean, we have been taught that men are heads of the household, the leaders, the providers, the protectors.
Now
But
that
I
right there,
mean,
head of the household, what does that mean?
what does it mean?
Yeah,
I mean, you head the household.
head of the
I
household.
mean, yeah, be the head of the household. Um, Probably making most of the decisions and making sure the house. I mean, head of the household.
Shit, we see where that got us. We need to let sis make some decisions.
I think some men are good leaders because they were taught to be that way. I'm just saying I don't think it's like natural anymore. I don't think
No, we were never supposed to be the leaders. Why y'all mature faster and everything? We ain't supposed to leave shit. We supposed to. Okay, I'm gonna go do this.
Well, I kind of think maybe you're
Forcers.
supposed to like physically lead, like maybe the women offer guidance in a way, and y'all get us there.
Exactly. That's exactly what I've been trying to explain. Y'all are the ones who see, and you direct, and we take you there.
And I think when we talk about when we talk about protection,
Not just
people
physical.
regulate that to physical protection, right? Oh,
Mm,
so if I'm walking down the street and there's another man that may be following me or whatever. But in a relationship, protection is about your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health. You guys should be providing that protection for each other. It's not just about a physical thing.
facts.
Right. Because how often do you actually have to physically protect them? All my years, I've never needed a man to physically protect me. All my years on this earth.
Thank God we live in America.
I'm just saying, but how
That's
often
why we can
people,
say that.
I'm just saying, men, a lot of men use that as an excuse, but how often does it actually happen? Where you have to
Right.
actually
That's just
put
what
your
they've been
body in
taught.
harm's way to protect your woman.
Right. That's what they've been taught.
Yeah, Michelle, I agree with you, right? We do follow the people that we look up to, and it's great that you had examples of your parents, but I'm talking about those who are taking the example of their peers, and it's not the right example. That this is how they learn to deal with you. I mean, I've seen some of my peers grow up in healthy households, but they act like fools the minute they get outside. I
Hmm.
saw that growing up. And it's like, yo, some of my peers, when you get to meet their parents, you be like, these are your parents? Like, and why do you act this way?
Hmm. Or vice
They
versa.
weren't
The
getting that
parents
ass
be
whooping up.
terrible and the kids be great.
Hmm.
They weren't getting that ass whooping up, man.
Well, no, I think that, I honestly understand, right? That you can instill the best morals and values and give your children the best direction. But ultimately, it's up to them when they get a certain age to instill those things in their life and still keep moving down the path that you tried to pave for them. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they regret. I mean, they not regret, but sometimes
They step off the path.
right. And they resent the way you may have made them be in the house a certain time, or you didn't let them sit on the couch a certain way, or you made them eat a certain way at the table. So when they get on their own, they rebel against all of the things that I just use those things as an example, but they
No, that's
rebel
fact.
against all of the things that you taught them just
Right.
because they felt like it was like a prison.
Right. And I think that comes from lack of communication from parent to child. I've witnessed
Right.
that in my own life. Like my
Right.
mom, my peoples may tell me to do something, but they don't tell me why I'm doing it type shit. And that make me think like, what the fuck I'm doing this for?
Hmm.
But then as I got older, I got eyes to see, and life plays its hand, and I get to see like, oh, that's why they told me that. Okay, for sure. But a lot of people don't got eyes to see though. They, like you said, they being led by their peers. They got a different message put into their head.
Because in reality, our children spend more time with their peers than they do with us.
Right. And
You
they soak
know.
up a lot of shit from their peers.
hmm
And that's why I said communication between parent and child. It is a lack of that. It's a lack of that nowadays.
I think it's always been a lack of it, right? Because it's like, okay, when we talk about sex, right, it's almost like a taboo in black households
Right?
to
Yeah, I
talk
ain't learned
about,
about sex from my parents.
right? But we are the ones that should be teaching them about sex.
Facts.
We should not let their peers teach them about sex.
Hell
We
no.
it's a habit in our, and it's large in our community where we tell little girls keep your legs closed and we tell little boys keep your thing in your pants, but we don't actually get tell them why. Or we're
Exactly.
making up these birds and bees stories and stuff like that. No, I think we have to really age appropriate conversations need to be had. When
Hell
that
yeah.
kid comes home at 6 years old and say, "Hey, where do babies come from?" Because maybe their teacher's pregnant or their friend in school mother may be pregnant and they see the
Hmm.
the stomach. That's when we supposed to have age appropriate conversations with them. But
Yeah.
no, we just kind of tell them keep your legs closed and keep your thing in your pants and don't let these little boys
Mm,
get in it and don't let these little girls be, and we're not really giving them the 411. Another thing, as a mother, right? I have sons. I do not. I'm a woman before I'm a mother. That's just that.
yep.
And when my boys were growing up, if I saw that they weren't being right and exact, I would tell the little girl, you know what, listen, check this out. Especially if they came to me, I would tell them in a minute, like, listen, when somebody's not treating you the way you feel you need to be treated, you need to get far away from them.
Facts.
And my sons would be like, "Ma, well, you ain't supposed." No, I am a mother before. I mean, I'm a woman before I'm a mother. And I think if more mothers had these conversations with these little girls, then we would have a lot of less heartbroken girls running around here. Because
Hell
hurt
yeah.
people hurt people.
Exactly. Hey, when the woman knows who she is and she demands that respect, that's when you're gonna see change in the world. The black woman in particular. When she stands in her power, that's when everything else gonna fall in line. Cause niggas just doing shit to impress you. And what impresses y'all right now is a whole lot of fuck shit. So niggas doing fuck shit and they getting bitches. So they ain't gonna
Hey,
stop.
hey, 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 you gotta watch it with that.
My bad. They getting women. They ain't gonna stop. I'm a YN, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, I get it, but you don't want to get the show demonetized with the
Yeah,
constant
I'm
cursing
already
and
knowing.
stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, how do you ladies feel about the conversation so far?
Well, as far as the communication, I agree. I'm kind of different than my parents were with me. My mom was a because I told you or because I said so type of mom, and I kind of if I tell my kids no, I explain why I say no, and so they'll know why they need to say no in the future. The same thing, or I let them express themselves as long as it's respectful. Like
Right.
they are people and got feelings and emotions, and tell them they can't express them or they just gotta, you know, do what you say with no explanation. I don't think that's fair.
Right. Were you given that same liberty as a kid?
No, my mom was a because I said so
Yeah. See, you
type of
breaking
mom.
generational curses.
Hmm.
Now your kids gonna grow up and be very expressive, and they're gonna be very in tune with themselves.
I need them to know why I say no. So when they need to make the decision for themselves, they know why they need to say no.
Right.
Because I'll tell you this, I know growing up in the black household, you when you got beat, you knew why you was getting beat, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, like I said, we need to work more towards a common unity. We need to develop community.
That's we need to put the
And
black woman back on top.
I honestly think one of the biggest problems is people gonna hate me, but I think in the black community, it's a lot of mental illness and personality disorders, all kinds of stuff going unchecked, undiagnosed, and untreated. And that's
Hell
kind of
yeah.
why they are taking some of the stances they're taking that seem ridiculous.
I think it's the world though. Like that's
Let me
happening
let
in
me
the
ask y'all a
world.
question. Just speaking on trauma. So from slavery, a woman watches her man get taken away into a barn, gets his ass took. My bad, gets his booty do done with, and then he's strung up and burned. Now she takes that trauma, passes that down to her kids. Her kids
Hmm.
witness more things, pass that down to their kids, and it keeps going and going. But nobody throughout all these generations is seeking out therapy. They're not talking about it. In a black
Hmm.
household during them times, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. We gonna keep going about our day. We're not gonna let that phase us. We can't keep doing that. That's generational trauma built up and built up and built
Hmm.
up, and it has never been dealt with.
Yeah, I know a lot of black people rather pray than to get therapy, and I
Right.
mean, can't you do both?
Exactly.
So get therapy.
Well, again, so Jay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What does the black woman being put in her rightful place, what does that look like to you?
The black woman put in her rightful place. First, she must be in tune with herself. She must know who she is. She must know that she can't just give out anything or say anything, do anything. She must move with dignity and with grace. You feel me? And putting her back in her rightful position, being able to rightfully tell the people what they need to be doing. Because who's going to tell you better? Who's going to check you? Let me fix my words. Who's going to check you and put you in your place better than a black woman? She need when we start listening to her criticism and taking her word for things. That's when society is really gonna see a change, because these niggas ain't talking about nothing.
The average black man, I agree with you. We absolutely need to have these kids. They need to have healthy teenage dating lives, because what we're seeing is this the the young man who is a little socially awkward and he can't really, get the girls, and then he's holding on to what I call sandbox hurt. And now
Hmm.
he's 30 on the internet saying he's the leader of the He Man Hater Club. And women, the same thing happens for women. Because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, women don't have some things going on with them. They absolutely do. But these things, all of these things have to be explored.
That's a fact. I feel both sexes have trauma that they personally need to deal with. You feel me? But once the personal issues is out the way, we got to deal with social issues.
Hmm.
I always say that. I think every black person needs therapy just for being black in America.
You said what happened?
Okay. I think all of us need. I think all black people need therapy just for being black in America. You
Yes,
pile all
I
that other
agree.
stuff on top: childhood trauma, relationship, family trauma, whatever you go through on your life. You pile all that on top. Like it's crazy.
That's true.
I honestly feel like we have a lot of spiritual warfare going on too, as
That's true
well.
as well.
And one thing that we have to learn, that we are spirits having a human experience.
Yeah,
And until we learn that and tap into that part of it, I don't think we'll really understand. You can't understand the flesh if you don't understand the spirit. That's just my thing.
shit. A lot of people don't understand the spirit. A lot of people don't understand the flesh. They just living. A lot of
Hmm.
people just here.
Existing, right?
Yeah,
It's really hard to look at because you can see it in people in their eyes.
that's a soulless being. They
Fortunately,
ain't got no mind. They zombies. They just waking up, going to work. I'm finna get off and watch this show.
too many people think therapy is supposed to cure you, and it doesn't. It teaches you coping mechanisms, teach you how to deal with your stuff. Not supposed to be a cure.
Yeah, I feel like we need more than just therapy, though. We need a real healing. We need a cleansing,
We
community
do, but I don't
cleansing.
think we can do anything until we get our minds right. I don't
Facts.
think anything will
That's what.
work if your mind ain't right.
That's exactly what I mean. And a lot of us don't even got no mind. Niggas don't even be thinking. They'll tell you that. What I do. Why you go shoot them people? I don't even know, bro. I wasn't thinking. They ain't even
Too
got no mind.
emotional.
All
Too
right,
emotional.
emotional creature. You just
A lot of
acting.
men forget anger is an emotion too.
Hmm. Just like Light said, we having a human experience. They're acting off of the experience. They're
Yeah.
reacting instead of responding.
And then this whole women don't think with logic, they think with emotion, and men are more logical. A lot
Logic
of
not
men
even
are
real.
emotional.
Men are
A
Niggas
lot
definitely
of
not
need to know
times,
emotional.
logic ain't real.
I'm looking at a time where the women are less emotional than the men.
Hmm.
Man,
And then it's like, oh, well, y'all raise these boys. Wait, what?
we all need to be in tune with our emotions. I'm gonna teach the class right now, y'all. Emotion equals energy plus motion. It's your energy, your spirit, and motion. So when you angry, your energy, your spirit is in a certain motion. When you sad, it's in a certain motion. That's where transmutation comes in, being able to change the motion of your energy.
Yeah.
Niggas talking about logic this, logic that. Logic is literally a made up concept by Greek niggas.
Yeah.
We all can think, gang.
I don't think anybody's more logical than the other. I think we just think differently.
Exactly. Exactly.
But they get so mad when I never say women are more logical. I just say men are more logical, and they get so upset.
Well, we
Right.
have to, women, as women, we have to keep speaking, right? Because again, it's like we aren't being heard. And then they use this excuse of we've been being heard for 50 years. No, we haven't.
We barely had bank accounts for 50 years.
So I don't get it. I just think that I really just, I pray. I pray, I meditate, I do everything that connects me to the source, that tomorrow will be a better day for our people because our children deserve it. They deserve to see something better. They
Yeah.
deserve it. And if we keep going down the path we're going to through, we have men and women saying divest. Divest. We will not exist. Do they not understand this? We will not exist if we start going to these other nations of people, other people. We just won't exist as a people. The Black American will not exist in
Hmm.
50 years or 100 years, rather, if we continue this divest movement between men and women saying this. Oh, go to another country, go here, go there. Like we would just won't exist. And that's
Yeah.
a whole nother show for me, right? Because I'm going to say, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but they're setting up to write us out of history. The real
Yes.
African American is are the children of the continental Africans that come here, and when they have those babies here on American soil, they are the real African Americans. The Black American they are gearing up to write us out of history. We will not exist in some decades because people are saying let's stop procreating with each other. I'm telling you, pay attention to what they're doing.
Mhm.
Hey, man.
Yep.
Michelle, I've never dated outside of my race. I've never dated outside of
Mhm.
For me, there's nothing other than a black man. For real, to be honest.
Mhm.
When you
That's
say
just for me.
Black American, what do you mean by that?
Well, the ones who are us, right? You, me, myself, Sunday, the ones that they have categorized as African American.
But I mean, I would say I'm an African American.
I mean, you would say that based on your heritage, but I'm talking about a race thing, the way they're setting it up.
Right. Me,
Because if
like,
you go back, right, your birth certificate says African American, right?
mm,
But if you actually go back some generations, right? If you start to go back some generations and look at your elders' birth certificates, they're all gonna have different things. Like my grandmother had Negro, my mother had color, I had black, my children have African American.
yeah, it's due to change over time, you know. But I got mixed, like, I got a lot of mixed ancestry though, but that's why I say Black America is beautiful because we got a lot of mixed ancestry.
Well, yeah,
That's
we
where our
do. We
culture comes
absolutely
from.
do. You know, I come from my grandfather is Puerto Rican, from Puerto Rico. My mom is, my mom is mixed race,
Hmm.
so we all have a different type of thing going on.
Right.
But
That's why our culture is
I,
so
I
unique
just,
and beautiful.
you're right. But I grew up more with the brown side of the family, or more so than the other side of the family.
Hmm.
So I identify more with, you know, my black side. I identify more with that. So I
I
just
think
feel
me
like
and
I'm
you.
looking at, and I think that historically, well, I know that historically they have taught us to look at other people from other parts of the Americas as a different people from us, but they're really not.
No, that's facts.
So they have made us look at, I mean, it's so, and it's mind boggling to me, right? Because all of these parts of America are part of the Americas, but they have programmed us to only look at North America.
That's because this is a corporation. That's the difference
Right,
between here and
exactly.
the rest. This they look
So
corporation.
we don't look at the people in South America, Central, then the surrounding islands, all of those places make up America. And when you go back and you look at the people, they were all one people at some point. And then, all these other things came into play, these other nuances came into play. And now we don't look at each other as the same people, but yet when we make music together, look how well it go. It blends.
Yeah, that's the culture right there.
Right. Look how well it blends. You got
And
dance hall,
that's
you mix dance hall with rap. And the first person for me in my life and history I watched do that was KRS-One.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then when you talk about reggaeton and all of these things, you don't see nobody going down here trying to make a rap song with a East Indian.
But yeah, that's that. The rest of the world is waiting on Black America to rise up. It's some things I
Mhm.
can't say on live, but
Well,
Black
baby, I'm
America
right with
is
you because there's some world leaders that have absolutely, absolutely, absolutely shared that. So I get it. You may not want to speak about it online. We can speak about it privately, but I understand. And trust me, I got some names I could throw at you, and you'll be like, "Wow, you know that."
gonna
Mhm.
grade.
We are.
That's
I mean, we saw that momentum when Mike Brown died, right? We saw the world stand up for us. We saw them protesting all over the world. I don't know if y'all remember, but
I
they were
remember.
protesting all over the world for
I
us.
remember.
And,
I remember.
and it was at that point that we were supposed to say, do what we needed to do, but we let it die. We let
I
it
don't
die.
think people know
I
what
ain't gonna lie.
what. I don't think people
We
know
as
what
been
we should
supposed to
do
do what we gotta do. Like when
outside the
Martin Luther King was
protesting.
holding them boycotts and shit, we was supposed to take control.
Hmm.
That's when
I
we
mean,
was really
all
supposed to
over the
strike.
world. I was watching this. I was seeing them in China, in Africa, everywhere. Like so many different countries that you wouldn't have never thought would have been like, leave the backs of America alone. And that was our point right there in history
Shit, the
to
I don't
blacks
think
out
people
there,
know
understand.
what. I don't think
we
people
really
know
got
what
the
to do
control.
outside past protesting. I don't think people know what to do.
Blacks in
We have
America really control America. That's
we
when we
was
realize
in
that it's over.
we was in a space where we could have made demands because the world was watching.
We can get back in that space. That's the crazy part.
Hmm.
It just going it takes that take that voice. The
Uh,
the
and
collective put together is one voice.
and and stuff like that is the reason why I kind of think Trump was a necessary evil. I think after him, or it's gonna be a big shift.
Yeah, all this shit necessary. All this shit. There's nothing that happens that's not meant to.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Jay. And next time we're gonna have you back. And next time I really want you to dig deep. I want you to expound on your whole thing. I want you to pull it from your gut and let it be known as a young man, right? Because it's amazing to see someone your age think the way that you're thinking.
All right. How old are you again?
I'm 24.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're a young man. They classify you a YN,
You need to start calling him a YM.
right? And we're gonna
Young
call you a
man.
YN, young man. We not you that YN gotta go.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a
I
young saint.
want you to actually, even if you have to put a presentation together, because I really want you. There's a core audience that you can reach as a young man.
No, facts. I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. I just got to get my little equipment together. I'm trapping off the phone right now.
And that's fine, even if you do it right. You welcome to you're welcome to come sit with us anytime. All you got to do is say, "Hey, I want to do this. I want this to be. I want to say this. I want to talk about
Word.
this." And we'll make it happen. We'll
Word.
make it happen.
Oh, that's what's up.
But we really appreciate you being so young and being able to see past the BS. That just shows me that if there's one of you, there's thousands of you.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. That's a lot of us.
Right.
Sometimes people just need to see other folks speaking up, then they will.
I feel like you got more sense than a lot of these older dudes.
Absolutely.
They failed us. Them niggas
Absolutely.
failed.
Mm,
I was
mm,
sorry, y'all. Y'all watching, I'm sorry. You failed me, gang.
mm, mm, mm.
Like you can't any woman or man that wakes up first thing in the morning and starts posting derogatory stuff about the opposite sex, something's really wrong with you.
Shit, it get even deeper than that. I was 12 years old going to re-up from a nigga that was way older than me type shit. Like, it was never no woman putting shit in my hands. It was always y'all niggas. Y'all niggas was telling me what to do.
Well, that was the thing. It was always the older dudes that got the young because at some point in history you got the younger ones couldn't go to jail. So they always had the
Exactly.
young ones out there doing stuff, but then there was the few. I know where I come from. There was a few and far between that was like, nah, go to school.
Mhm.
If you want, maybe they knew their situation where they knew they had to get a couple of dollars, but then there was some, so they would let them come after school. But then there was some that they saw something in, and just decided, nah, you stay from out these streets. I got you. I saw that a lot. So
Man, they needed to see something in everybody. You gonna tell this nigga go to school and give me a pack? It's crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
Come on, cuz. You just had me shoot at a nigga. You had cuz in class. I could have been in class, cuz.
I also need to stop telling these young boys not to express their feelings and suck it up and all that other stuff. I
All
believe
that
that's
shit.
why they become crash outs when they get older.
Yeah,
They know how
all
to
that shit.
process
All that
stuff,
shit.
handle rejection or nothing.
All that shit. It's something that now I'm not speaking on everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's some people that got good OGs and shit, you feel me? But for the
Yeah.
majority, y'all niggas crazy, bro.
Mm.
Niggas talking about all the young crash outs, man. Listen, y'all started the banging on wax and shit like that, bro. Y'all niggas was crazy.
I'm talking about the old crash out.
Oh, for the grave, y'all niggas been crashing out, bro. Y'all taught us to crash out, bro. When we looked on YouTube and seen all them old documentaries, we was like, damn, they was banging.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm, mm.
I come from the progressive era, right? Where it progressed. We watched it gradually progress. It went from the putting on the boxing gloves, going in the backyard, all right, it's over with, to actually just having the whole full blown fist fight or a brawl, right? Against
Yep.
rival not even because we didn't really have gangs. I mean, they were called crews, but it's the same thing. Just for label wise, we didn't have what they labeled a gangs here.
Yeah.
And then it went from that to actually
I'm finna
killing,
shoot this nigga.
the shootings. But when I was coming up, it wasn't the shooting, they weren't the shooting the crowd. They were the up close and personal. And that's why they labeled them that my generation super predators.
Yeah, shit.
Because these
See,
were young
see, and
boys.
y'all raised
Yeah.
us.
Those were the young boys that they would, whatever girl. Like, listen, they was walk up on you, catch you, follow you for 2, 3 months, catch you where you think you safe is, right?
Hmm.
So I watched it progress. I was there for that progression,
Yeah, we ain't doing
and
that no more.
yeah, now we
That's
gotta
too
stop it.
much. We ain't
It's
doing
too
that no
much.
more. We gonna catch you and just black you right in front of everybody.
Yeah, it was a progression, you know. Because before it used to just be like, yeah. And then when we got the introduction to the gang life,
But that's what
yeah,
progressed. Like
that's
you said, it's
all.
the progression. Y'all niggas started that, walk up on a nigga, woo, woo, now look at us. We just hopping out broad day.
Mm-mm.
Well, I think what happened. So I can't speak for everywhere else. I know there's this thing in California called the Felix Mitchell effect. Um, Somebody that I was friends with before taught me about that, and I've talked with Timotheus about it, and it seemed to have been something that they did all over. So when they take the heads of these gangs or these crews, or they take the head, they think, oh,
Yeah.
everything's gonna stop. But what happens is you let what I coined the in the window nigga, right? They come outside. Those are the ones that watched everything from the window. And now
Mm,
these kids have no guidance and they're listening to this person who never really was outside like that. And they got them thinking that because a lot of the fathers
man.
went to prison or into the grave. So now, we got this in the window nigga who don't really know what he doing, but he just was able to get lucky and run into a connect or whatever. And now
Mhm.
the etiquette, the street etiquette is gone.
Yeah, that shit been gone though. Like them in the window niggas, I ain't gonna lie. Nowadays, they what we call food.
Mm.
We could tell when you were in the window nigga and we gonna get you. Like, oh yeah, folks ain't with it. He just be trapping.
In the windows, I think that was the turning point for the youth because around 97, around 96, 95, from 95 to like 96, 97, you had they were taking down major crews, the FBI, the feds. They was catching niggas on Rico
Hell
left
yeah.
and right. You feel what I'm saying? And that's when it seemed like the children had no guidance because there was etiquette. There were
Uh-uh.
certain things that you were allowed to do and certain things you weren't allowed to do. And when it came to women and children, they were off limits.
Yeah, it ain't no more structure no more.
Well, there was definitely an unspoken code of honor, even on the streets.
Right.
Just speaking on Chicago and shit, like when they did came and grabbed all like the Jeff Forts and shit like that, Larry Hoover's, that's when shit heated up. Like it ain't no more codes no more. Like I'm insane. I'm funny, that's what they call it in Chicago. The GD, but you insane. Like you don't get no fuck. That just mean like nigga anything. I'm whatever. I'll kill a GD. It don't matter. Like that's
It's
when
my
that shit start
hometown.
really popping.
Right. So when they took the elders out the street is when everything just went crazy.
Yeah.
Everything just went crazy. I mean, and I watched it. I was there for it. Listen, I was there for when crack hit. And when I tell you it was overnight. It wasn't no
Pro.
it wasn't no gradual, like it was weird how it just like
It was
spread
set
like
up.
wildfire.
You ain't never heard
Yeah.
of Pro.
Of course I've heard of COINTELPRO.
Yeah,
There's
that's that
other
shit.
things too. There's other things besides COINTELPRO. that a
That
lot
shit
of people
all
don't know
wrapped
about.
in.
Hmm. Of
They
course I
did that
do.
shit.
Hmm.
First they took all the revolutionaries. Then they put niggas in place to act like these bosses. Ooh. Then they took them out of place. Then they did a whole lot of other shit. Now you got what you got now.
Hmm.
Now they taking crash out niggas and putting them as
I feel like I feel like the crack era was a way for them to weed out our warrior class.
hell yeah.
But I think the average black man, I think we need to actually just dig deeper into that whole thing because I think it was a way for them to weed out our warrior class, the class that they knew right now would be the ones to come out and fight for real.
Facts.
They
I mean,
they
I'm a young bull, but I know before crack, it wasn't really too much gang beefing and niggas dying.
Mhm. No, it wasn't because then that's when you go into the era of my mother and father. And even though they did have people, because my mother always say ain't nothing new under the sun. Everything that was happening then is happening now. It's just more exposed because it's the social media era.
Right.
So there was a girl I was cool with. Her grandfather was a hitman for Bumpy Johnson. And
It was always
he
some
and
shit.
he said that he died. He like suffered. He said that was his punishment because of all of the things that he did. So he suffered while he was, getting old. Like it was crazy. And, just talking to him and hearing some of the stories, and I'm not really gonna get into that, but just talking to him and hearing some of the stories, like, wow, whoa.
Man, man. Yeah, the streets is dead though. Streets is dead.
Yeah. And now I'm hoping people start to realize that. Because I
Hey,
feel like if you get any type of money, hand over fist right now, you got to be an agent.
facts.
You got to be an agent.
You low key been an agent. Like niggas who was really like, come on now, CIA over all of that shit. Ain't nobody touching no real keys and ain't involved with the feds for real. I
Yeah,
put that shit in my music,
I
bro.
wanna, I wanna do, I'm gonna do a thing with Timothy is where we're gonna go through the Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man because Shahrazad Ali actually has great insight on some of the things that happen. So where we think a lot of these leaders were for us, the minute they got the opportunity, they definitely sold us out.
Yeah,
So and she talks about that, and that book came out around the same time as the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. But I noticed a lot of people have never read the other. They only read the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. They never even attempted to read the Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. And she breaks it down to 10 categories. And when you look at it, it was a very intricate part of the history, but it's really not talked about.
fact.
Yeah, because you're right. You're right. A lot of black men back then were protesting for the right to marry white women. I'm talking about in the middle of Jim Crow. They were doing this.
Mhm.
And the black woman was right there, standing tall for their ass. The ones that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all doing that? Why y'all doing that? Now when she say fuck it, now it's like damn. But see, that's what I'm saying. Where would the black man be without the black woman?
I
Where
mean,
would
yeah,
the
them
world be?
telling we sold them out. We sold them out for welfare. We sold them out for public housing. We sold them out for all of these things. But in reality, she just did what she had to do. In
Niggas stole
reality,
the pussy, bro.
a lot of the men actually told these women, go on down to the building so these babies could eat because they were ending jobs everywhere. They were doing a lot of things. So it wasn't the sellout. It was as a man, I'ma say, I can't feed my family. Baby, go on down there, get the thing. And if I gotta go 2, 3 states over to get a job to send money back, then that's what I'll do. So a lot of people don't even really look at all the nuances that happen. They just, oh, y'all gave up on the black man. No, we've never given up on y'all ever.
Nah, it's the reverse. Niggas the one that gave up.
Even for the women that did, I doubt women were giving up good men for food stamps.
Yes, yes, Michelle. Michelle, it was in 1964, and by 1968, it was gone because the black woman, it was the Smith, I think it was. I forget the name. I forget the name of the court case versus the government. And while it stopped it from happening with public assistance, it still carried on in some states for public housing. But nobody, all these women were doing was hiding these men. And there were some women that absolutely was like, you know what, I'm sick of your shit. You got to go. You know
Right.
what I mean? I don't want to do this anymore. You got to go. We know that happened. But for the most part, listen, for the most part, our elders knew that their husbands is out there drunk, being drunks, doing whatever. But as long as them men came home, they opened the door for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, niggas wanted to live like the white man, and that's where they traded.
And I honestly think that the behavior of a lot of women, which a lot of men don't want to accept, is like a response to what was happening. I mean, is a response to how women were treated before.
It's a learned behavior on both sides. It's learned behavior on both sides. It's not just men. It's not just women.
Damn, you know what just hit me? Black men learn to hate the black woman from the white man. That's the root
I've
of our
said
problem.
so many times a lot of black men treat black women like white supremacy treats them.
That's the problem.
We did a show
That's
on
always
that.
been a problem.
We did a show on that. Timothy has together a nice little video. I haven't sent it to you. We did a show on that. Oh, did we get to do that show? I don't know. But we're gonna keep this topic in rotation, because it needs to be talked about. And we will have different brothers and some sisters come up here and have the discussion with us because I know for me, I want to see things change. I do. Listen, black man, I love you. I love you. And there's no other man for me in this world. My counterpart is the black man, and I will always stick with you. But trust me, I love you. I just want to let that be known. So we've been here for an hour, a little over an hour, and I think we're going to end the show now with Jay. Thank you for coming. And anytime you want to come up here and talk with us, you're more than welcome.
Sure.
Good
Thank
Sister
discussion,
y'all for
guys.
Fred,
having me.
Sister Ivory jumped out the womb with a scale.
Yes, sis.
You ready to end the show for us?
All righty. Thank everyone for tuning in, and we'll be back with another one.